What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jay Will back again here to do some pitcher projections. Today is August 11th, and we're going to do the projections for tomorrow, August 12th. But before we get into that, I'm going to ask you to like, comment, subscribe. Um, if you want to join the Dub Club or the YouTube executive tier, you'll get access to all the picks, all the pitcher parlays, um, all the home run parlays, more. So just link in the description. Let's get to it. We got what? We got 11 games on the schedule for tomorrow. No, 15 full slate. Let's check it out. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 15 games tomorrow. Um, Most of the odds aren't out, but there are odds for these four highlighted games. So I'm gonna go through each one. But no, I'm not. Actually, I'm not gonna go through each one. I'm gonna go through these four games, you know, and I have my final projections in the morning when the lines are out. But right now we can go over these four games. I got the report ready for tomorrow. We can go over today. And let's do that real quick. So as of right now, um, what's that? We got out of a possible 21, because we couldn't bet on this guy here to put Guerrero for Chicago. But out of 21, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 so far wrong. So 13 divided by 21, we still at that dreaded 60%. These games are still going on, you know. Uh let's see who sold for us today that, you know, maybe here's the big name right there, Crotchet. Bro, Crochet. 5Ks, man. Like I did not expect that, you know. Um Going into the report, right? He's number one on strikeout list, right? So I thought he was gonna show out today, right? Man, I swear, stats will have you walking down dark alleys, bro. Um, but yeah, he fucking sold for us. Evaldi was another one. I mean, I didn't expect him to get 3Ks. I thought he could get the 5. You know what I mean? But that's why we play the games. You know, that's why they got odds you can bet on. You know what I mean? So, uh, like I said, 15 games tomorrow. Let's go over the report. This game is still going on. Crotchet sold for us. Pick of the day, Pepio. Right now, it's not looking good. Let's check on Pepio real quick. What is he doing? Uh, this game's currently live. Let's check it out. Look at that. No Ks. Top of the third. No Ks, bro. It's crazy. Springs, meanwhile, has two. 75 pitch count. I mean, at least his pitch count is low. You know, it's in the third inning. He could go, you know, but he needs 6, bro. You know, so he need to like get on fire. But right now it's looking like might not happen. So let's get into these the report for tomorrow. Um 15 games. Matchup of the day so far I'm looking at Pittsburgh versus Milwaukee. You got Paul Skeens from Pittsburgh versus Freddie Peralta out of Milwaukee. That's going to be a good game. Uh, the top 5 pitchers of the day, strikeout wise, tomorrow. You got Skeens coming in at number one with 162. You got Rodon behind him at the Yankees for 159. Robbie Ray and San Fran, 148. Flaherty, 147. And Peralta for 141. So, you got Skeens and Peralta, number 1 and 5 in strikeouts playing tomorrow. That's gonna, figure that's gonna be a good matchup of the day. We'll get into my pick of the day here. I went with Ben Brown from the Chicago Cubs with 5+ hits allowed. I know FanDuel don't have that prop. DraftKings does, but let's get into why I think Ben Brown, the hits allowed. First, let's get on strikeouts, right? When I was looking at the strikeouts, I'm like, pretty consistent. This is his whole year stats, and it's preset to 4. Do he have a line tomorrow? Did he have a line? He did. He had a line. And that's the first game. Yeah. Oh no, it's on the list. Yeah, it's on that list. So we'll just break that down. Starting there. His line at 4.5. I look at his season snapshot without doing any. Oh no, I do got the filters on. Let's reset the filters. All right. Look, no filters, 4Ks. Look at that. It's only one game this whole season where he didn't get at least 4Ks. All right. So right there, I'm like, okay. But then I'm looking at here, right? He's facing Toronto. They're pretty good. They don't strike out much, you know. They don't have any head-to-head history, right? No head-to-head history. So when they don't have head-to-head history and you got a good pitcher against a team that's good with hitting, what that tells me is they only going off of videotape. You know what I mean? They haven't seen these pitches in real time, you know? So I feel like he can get those Ks, especially through the first time going through the order. You know what I mean? Going through the order. You got 9 batters, right? Out of those 9 batters who never seen him before in a game, faced his pitches, he'll strike out 4 them. You know what I mean? So just off rip, right? I'm like, okay, he'll get at least 4. I ain't do no filters or nothing. All right. So let's slap the filters on, right? Away games and see the matchup grade, you wouldn't touch it. All right. So you look at that. That just on 4. So let's put that on over 4.5. This is just for Ks, but the over is possible, but that 4, at least 4, bro. I feel like he'll get at least 4, no problem. But looking at everything else, I'm like, all right, he get Ks. I'm looking at his earned runs, but then I'm looking at this. You see these hits right here? You see that? So I'm like, all right, let's clear this filter. All right. And then I'm like, all right, his strikeout's good. Let's look at the earned runs. Okay, like look at that. Earned runs. Oh, you see that? These peaks here. He let up runs, bro. And runs come from letting up hits. This is the season snapshot of hits, right? With the filter, which I don't have one on, but it's on his season snapshot. For this season, he's averaging 5.6 hits. So whatever his line is, right? And it's probably, I'm guessing, since they know he's gonna let up hits, the line will probably be at 6.5. But I'm saying 5 hits at least tomorrow against Toronto, 5 hits. So that was my logic with the pick of the day. Ben Brown, 5+ hits allowed. But also for this game, I'm gonna go safe with the 4Ks for Ben Brown. All right. Let's look up the boy Berrios. Jose. Last time, yeah, he came through for us last time. Last 5 games, yeah, he came through. I needed him to get 5. He got 5. Uh, his line is at 4.5. Um, Outliers on 4. Look at the season. 71% 4 and or more, right? Uh, Now I look at the filter, home game, matchup grade, and we still on 4 here. This line is at 4.5. Let's do the over 4.5. You facing the Cubs. This is like you got the Cubs and the Blue Jays. They both don't strike out much. You know what I mean? So like this is a game right here, like, you know, uh, but they haven't faced him, you know. This is a team who got like 2 pitchers who are capable of getting strikeouts against teams that don't strike out much, but they never seen this guy. So Berrios, um, I feel like he can get at least 4. You know what I mean? Uh, his last outing, he got 5. I mean, albeit it was against San Fran, but you know, feel like he can get to 4. So we'll put both of them at 4. And let's go to the next game, this Philly Cincy game. You got Ranger Suarez versus Brady Singer. Uh, Philly Cincy for tomorrow. Let's check it out. I said it did. There it is. The line, Ranger Suarez, 5.5. Oh, they both 5.5. All right, let's check it out. Start with Suarez. He got a sister named Ranger Lynn. His name is Ranger. He got a sister named Ranger Lynn. I was watching one of the games and they mentioned that shit. I'm like, that's weird. His parents kind of weird, man. People be naming their kids weird ass names, man. I'm so glad that my shit is normal, bro. All right. Uh 4.5 is the line. Let's put it on 4.5. Over 4.5. Nothing wrong with unique names though, but yeah, some of these names, bro, y'all know. Season outlier, 4.5. You don't see much red there. It's pretty consistent. Ranger Suarez, you know, against Cincy, bro, already. Like I don't, but he also has head-to-head matchup, right? So you look at the head-to-head. Now I just looked at the season shit, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, oh, over 4.5. The line is at 4.5, bro. Smash. But I won't go 4.5. Oh no, damn, it's 5.5. Okay. Okay. I'm like, what? Smash the over, bro. But still, I still say smash the over, bro. All right. So I look at the season. Let's put this up to 5.5. Still not much red, but season, let's do some filters. Look at look at that. I like the filters, you know, with the away matchup grade. Let's reset it and let's look at the head to head. All right. The last 20, last 10. Let's look at the red, right? Which teams was it? Baltimore, Detroit. That was a surprise. That was a surprise. The Angels, like what? Come on, man. Detroit and the Angels, bro. He only got 5-4. San Diego is suspected, but he just recently faced Cincinnati back on July 5th, and he got 6 Ks. We look at this head to head, right? 6 Ks and 5 Ks. Let's check out Cincy. What I got it on pictures right now. Let's put it on team stats, batting last month. What's today? The 11th. So we're gonna go July 11th. Update. Now, this is this one standard. Yes. Boom. No strikeouts. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Seattle #1 now. Damn. Okay. So yeah, here we go. Here's the ranking of the last month. Team striking out. And where are we at? We're looking for Cincy on this list. Where are they at? 15, kind of middle of the pack, you know? So Philly right behind them. So, okay. Um, but yeah, I'm going over for Rangers Suarez. Over 5.5. You want to go safe? That 5 is safe. I'm thinking he's going over. Before we get into Brady Singer, let's check out the rest of Rangers stats. Let's look at his earned runs. Might get one earned run off of him. Hits allowed. You're gonna get 4 hits. You'll get 4 hits off of him. At least three, but four. You'll get four, right? That three is super safe. You'll get 4 hits off of him. Look at this. 9, 7, 8, 4. 4 hits allowed. If you're on DraftKings, home runs. He's not invincible. He gives up the home run, you know. Uh, Pitch count. All right. Is that about like a 90 pitch count? Looks like. Uh, is the average 90, 95 pitcher walks. He's good for a walk, you know. He'll walk you. And against the head to head, at least one walk. And then you got pitcher outs. I don't really like this prop, but a lot of people do like it, and but I don't like this one, you know. It's hard to gauge. I guess strikeouts is hard to gauge too, but you know what I mean? It's like pick your poison, you know what I mean? So, all right, let's get into Brady Singer. Let's check him out. This puts us back on strikeouts. His line is at 5.5 as well, right? Yes. So we got it on the season. You see lots of red. So, I don't know. Right there, that's telling me I don't think he'll get 6 against Philly. I think they'll get to him. you know. And this is just looking at the season. Let's slap the filters on. Home games. Uh, where's that matchup grade? They don't have a matchup grade thing on. Okay. Home frame. No. Okay. But yeah, I see lots of red. Last 20. I mean, he has the capability of going over. Let's look at who he went over. Wow. Against Atlanta 10 days ago. That's no small feat. Wonder Atlanta must have been having a bad day that day. Tampa Bay, Colorado expected, Yankees expected against the Cardinals. That's another eyebrow raiser. Like, well, okay. So this guy, he got potential, right? He got potential to get some strikeouts. Let's look at his last 10. He's just he's inconsistent, man. Like, and nothing more a better hates is somebody who's inconsistent. You don't want to put your money on an inconsistent motherfucker, you know? And this guy is inconsistent, right? So we looking at last 5, last 10, last 20, last but not least, we get to the head to head. And he got the 5Ks and 5 earned run, 11 hits, and let up a home run. All right. So this guy, I'm going under. This I he he got to prove me wrong, bro. He get over tomorrow. You know what I mean? Props to him, bro. But we going Singer under 5.5. If you want to go anything under that, you want to go 4, you go ahead. But he's not getting 6. That's just my my whole thing. Look, I put 5.6. Let's put this back. But yeah, he's not getting that, in my opinion. As you see the spread here, I'm on the 60% clip. So 6 out of 10 of my picks is gonna be solid. 4 of them are gonna be trash. So you know what I mean? Take that with a grain of salt, you know? All right, where are we at? We on to the next game. We got these two. We on to that game of the day. I'll leave that one for last. Let's go Dodgers, Angels, Sheehan versus Anderson. Let's look up Sheehan and what that line is. Let's go. Let's see. Okay. We got Emmett with a 5.5 line. We got it at 5.5. No head-to-head history. Let's put it on this season. He's only played 7 games, and he only went over 5.5 one time. Who was that against? It was against the Padres. Okay, that's saying something, guys. He got 5 against the Cardinals. All right, that's Cincinnati expected, Boston expected. Underperformances against Milwaukee. Milwaukee been hot though. You know, San Fran 3. That's surprising. Houston 4. Houston been kind of hot too. So you know, looking at this season snapshot, he's pretty solid. You know, um, like I said, no head to head. Let's see what the filter's looking like. Away games, matchup grade. Uh, no, I guess that's not telling me nothing. Okay, so we just have to base it off of what we see here. Um, you got the Angels. This says they rank, last in strikeouts, but if we look here, okay, yeah, yeah, the past month, the data backs it up. So Sheehan over 5.5. You looking here, I'm going 5. I'll go with the safe 5. Seems like he's been hitting that 5. You know what I mean? 4 out of the 7 games he played. You want to go super safe? 4. Let's see what the 4. 4 is probably trashy. 850, yes. It's kind of trashy. Yeah, he'll get to 5, bro. 5. Uh, hold on. Let me plug in these other ones while I'm at it. I said Brown and Berrios for Suarez over Singer under. Let's plug this in real quick. Now we're on Tyler Anderson. Let's look him up. But before we do that, let's go to Sheehan earned runs. Might get you one. Hits allowed 3. Home runs, it's possible. You don't give up much. Pitch count, low 70s, low to mid 70s. And he will give you a walk. He's good for 1 walk. All right. Anderson, Tyler. What is his line at? 4.5. Put it on 4.5. Season outlier. It's possible. We see a lot of red, you know. Let's slap some filters on there. Home games. All that matchup grade will be up here, like up here. Uh, hmm. Okay, is the Dodgers 4.5. I don't see. All right, in this head-to-head, he only had 4 Ks. Was that this year? 517. Let's check. Yes, it was. He only had 4. You think he'll go over this time after they seen him for a game? I don't. I mean, let's look at his last 20. He like have flashes of brilliance, then he go on these lulls. You know what I mean? I'm seeing inconsistencies. Let's see. He good for 3 games, then he's bad for 3. Good for 2, bad for 2, good for 2, bad for 4, good for 2. Which one? Is he good for 3 or 4? Or is it, you know what I mean? Which one is it, bro? So look at his last 10. I don't like it. Last 5. I don't like it. And then the head to head. So I don't think he's going over, right? So I would go with the under. But to be safe, I go with that 4. So let's go safe with that 4. That that just looks so much better, right? You know what I mean? That looks better, bro. Now it's like, all right, he should be able to get 4 against the Dodgers. You know what I mean? So let's roll with that. You know, you want to go spicy, go with the under, but uh, I'd be trying to go spicy with the unders, bro, and they'd be like, "All right, we gonna show your ass today." So you know what I mean? You can go safe, man. Just go safe, bro. Be feeling froggish, go with the under. You know, but we gonna plug in that 4. Uh, let's plug in that 4. Let's go to here. Why did I got Sheehan for 5, but on here I got the under. Did I have them from? That's a preset probably. Did I say he was going under? No, I didn't. 5. All right. Last game, which just so happens to be I think the matchup of the day is Skeens versus Peralta. Let's check it out. Uh, the line is at 6.5 for both of them. Let's see what they're talking about. Skeens over 6.5. Here's the season. 11 times he did not go over. But for the season, he's 54%. Last 20, 55. Last 10, 50. And they do have a head-to-head matchup here. They do have some history. You got 3 games to look at. Most recent, he only had 4 Ks. That was back in June. 4 earned runs, 4 hits, no home runs. He had a 9 ERA that game, 2 walks, only 4 innings pitched. I would say he had a bad day. You know, let's go to the season outlier, slap on some filters, away games, matchup grade. It looks good. You know, Skeens is, he's an elite pitcher, up there. Um, but will he get 7 against a hot Milwaukee team? You know, let's check where they at on the ranking of strikeouts here in the past month. Look at that. They don't strike out much. Hmm. But look at the head-to-head, most recent, this 7-11, that was last year, you know. This is a different Milwaukee team, you know. So you look at that and you're like, oh man, he got 11 before. He can get 7. Yeah, it's possible, but I don't know, man. Milwaukee is kind of hot, you know. He got 8 against Colorado, 6 against Minnesota. All right. Minnesota is not as good as Milwaukee, you know. Now he got 10 against Seattle. Seattle is number 1 strikeouts. You know, there's that Milwaukee game. He got 9 against Detroit. Detroit is number 2. So I'm gonna go under. That's ballsy, bro. It's ballsy. It's ballsy, but I'm gonna go with the under, bro. Under. Damn, these last 3 games though, fire. Cincinnati 8, Colorado 8, Arizona 9, but it's not Milwaukee, you know. Uh, that's a ballsy pick, bro, to go under. That's ballsy. I'm riding the current Milwaukee success, you know. Anything 6 is safe. The over, you want to go over. It's very well possible, bro. 6 is safe. I'm fucking with that under. And then look, right? See, this is what the bookies do, man. Sometimes they throw that plus money at you to, fuck with you. You're like, oh man, what do they know that I don't? You know what I mean? Why they giving out plus money? You know, there you go. Let's roll that under. That's spicy. Spicy. Um, and who we got? Who? Peralta. Let's check him out. I know for sure he sold me the last time I had him on a slip. I know he did. Let's check him out. And let's look at his last game and I'll know. Oh no, no. Okay. It was this game, maybe. I know it probably was. It was this game. It wasn't this one. It was for sure that game. But all right, his line is at 6.5 as well. Outliers on 6.5. Let's look at the season. There's a lot of red in there. I'm seeing a lot of red, you know. But let's put some filters on there. Home games, matchup grade, 50-50. Clear the filters. Now we just go break it down. Last 20. Hmm. Okay, last 10. I'm looking at the teams that he went over. We got Atlanta. That was pretty good. Miami, yeah. You know, they decent. Washington. I don't know, man. They so fucking ass now, bro. Like, but Dodgers, not surprised. Mets, no surprise. Pittsburgh. Okay, so we're gonna get to the head to head here, but the Cubs, and the Cardinals, bro, got six against the Cubs and the Cardinals, bro. That's no all right. And then we go to the head to head. They know him well. They seen him well. It's like a good game, bad game, good game, bad game. You know what I mean? But the last time, now these two games was last year. These two was this year. One was early in the season, back in May, and one was shit back in the end of June. You know, I would say a lot changed since then. Pittsburgh, it's not they're not really good. I don't think, you know, they ain't doing that. Let's check them out on the strikeout list. Where's Pittsburgh? Number 11. Uh, but will he go over? I'm gonna go six. Six is safe, bro. I don't know if he goes over, you know, but I think he will get six against Pittsburgh. They kind of trash. So let's slap that six on there. And are we missing somebody? Oh yeah, I forgot to put what did I have for Sheehan? Oh, Anderson for four. Let's go back to that game. Slap in Tyler Anderson for four. That's a nice little parlay there. You know what I mean? Let's see, what would $5 get you? $5 would get you a nice little chunk of change there. You know what I mean? You feeling frisky, you throw 10 on there, and there you go. You got yourself a night, you know? Uh, but there you have it. I'm gonna have my final projections in the morning. You want to see those and all the other plays I'm coming up with? Uh, look in the description and join the Dub Club. Join that YouTube Tier 3 executive tier. You're gonna get all the plays, all the picks, and more. You know what I mean? Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, what you like, what you don't, what you hit on, what you didn't, what you want to see, what you don't. Like, just comment, like. I'm gonna interact with you. So yeah, I'm gonna fill this out with a fine tooth comb in the morning. Come up with some dope plays. I appreciate you guys for your time. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Let's get this money.